my name is James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we've got some new data from Rightmove. House prices have hit record highs, but I'm not just going to share that with you. I'm going to tell you how long it takes to find a buyer, how long it takes on average to complete a transaction as well in this market, and much more. Now, Rightmove data is interesting. It's asking prices, not sold prices, before everyone jumps in the comments with that one. But it is an indicator on how healthy a market is. You see, when we had a crash in 2008, 2009, asking prices for sure were not going up. They were going down because there were desperate sellers coming to the market that needed to slash the price in order to try and get a sale. So we're going to cover all of that and more in this video. And if you haven't done already, do subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're on the way to 24,000 subscribers now. And while you're here, smash like, tickle like, do something, do that like button. So many people, well, not so many, a number of people are getting offended by me asking for that. Look, let's be honest, it helps me with the YouTube algorithm. It doesn't put much pain in your side. You just press the button and off we go. And more viewers will come to the channel. So thanks for those that do that without moaning. So, Rightmove data. Interesting, this stuff, right? So, Rightmove data, when they're saying prices are up, a lot of people get annoyed with that stuff. But when they're saying the market's on a downward trajectory, everyone suddenly thinks that the data's great. So I think the reason we talk about Rightmove data on this one is it's the beginning of the market. It's the early stages, isn't it? And it does give us an indicator on what is happening. It gives us seller sentiment. Now, if you had sellers that were desperate to sell, they had to sell the property in a few weeks or months, they would be cutting asking prices to get that sale done quickly. But this shows that they're not at the moment. So what is going on? So this is the Rightmove data. And they're saying that the average asking price now is $375,131, which since last month is up 0.8%. That's a fair big chunky rise in a month. Now, this is a busier time of year. May is often a good month for sales, so that's going to be part of that. Just this month, like the actual amount that the house prices have gone up is £2,807, which is a big chunk. It's a big chunk of money that's gone up in a single month. Good if you're a portfolio landlord like me. Now, why are they saying this is happening first and foremost? Well, even though we've had some discussions on this channel about things that could slow down the market. One is that it was leaked that there might be a stamp duty reduction, and anyone that's going to buy, if they hear about that, they're going to slow things down, aren't they? If you know, look, if I complete my sale in August, it's actually going to save me £5,000 because the stamp duty will change, then you're going to wait. You're not going to want to complete now. You can save that £5,000, right? So those sorts of things will slow the market down. And obviously, it's likely that interest rates will drop this year. No one can say guaranteed, but it's likely. Even the Bank of England are saying it's likely that that will happen. We've got tomorrow's inflation data. And if you read all the news today, some people are saying it might hit under 2% tomorrow, which will be interesting. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. So the reason, though, for this increase in asking prices is pent-up demand. And so there are people that have just sat out the market last year. The market was slow transaction-wise last year. And some people just need to move. Let's just say you lived in a 3-bedroom house and you need a 4-bedroom house because you've got more kids or maybe an elderly relative's coming to live with you. Maybe you just can't hold off anymore. You can't wait for stamp duty. You can't wait for interest rates to drop. You can't wait for the house prices to potentially crash. And so those people are just getting on with their transactions at the moment, which is interesting. Now, what we're seeing is the first 4 months of the year, transaction volume, so sales are up 17%, as in the transaction volume is up 17%. And we talked about that early. January was very busy, and that was when interest rates were dropping, wasn't it? We had mortgage rates that were dropping because the swap rate dropped, and so some people just got into the market. So how long does it take to find a buyer in this market? It takes 62 days, which is slowing down. Find a buyer. It was around 50 something before. It's now 62 days it's taking for people to find a buyer, which is definitely a sign that the market could be slowing down. And I think myself, transaction volume will slow down for the next few months based off potential stamp duty and interest rate drop. People want to get a cheaper interest rate. If they feel the rates are going to drop in June or August, they're going to slow down the transaction. Now, how long does it take to sell a property at the moment? It takes 5 months. So 5 months on average to sell a property. I've got one that's looking finally like it's going to complete next week that has taken 11 months. Now that was a probate problem, not from my side, but it was a probate problem. They shouldn't have had it even on the market when we agreed the price, but they did, and we've had to wait quite a long time. So I like this Rightmove data. I always like to get different data sources. It allows me to get my own opinion on what's going on in the market. And what I would say from this data is that what it shows me is the sellers are still not desperate. Until that happens, then you're not going to see a house price crash. And yes, we've had house prices go up and down a little bit. They've been moving a little bit, but they're not moving much. A crash is more than 10% in a calendar year. I don't know that that's going to happen anytime soon unless we get some really bad data from different sources. But if interest rates drop, that could stimulate the market again, in my opinion. So I feel the market's going to be slow this summer, and that's just because more people now are going to wait and see what the Bank of England does with interest rates. So tomorrow we've got the inflation data. It could be a really good one. If it goes to 2% or below 2%, how can the Bank of England not drop interest rates is beyond me. Now, they're going to argue inflation is expected to go up at the end of the year. Who knows? If the inflation is anywhere near 2%, also bear in mind that the May data from 2023 was quite high. That's also going to drop off next month. So next month's inflation data is expected to drop again. So really interesting dilemma for the Bank of England. So do watch tomorrow and we'll give you an update on what's going on there. Do smash the like button. Do share the video if you've got some friends and family that should watch this. Do subscribe. Go and check out other content on the channel, including this video right here.